Sanae was sitting on the Moria Shrine steps, reminiscing. She missed dreadfully all threesomes she used to have with Kanako and Suwako, but since she had grown breasts and pubic hair, they didn't seem interested anymore. Maybe I should buy a razor from Rinosuke, she sighed. Your turn.
Suddenly, Hanako walked out of the shrine, massive tits bouncing with purpose. Sanae, I have an assignment for you.
Kanako-sama, Sanae hurriedly pulled her hand away from her crotch. What do you want me to do? Oh, your turn.
I want you to go to the outside world in the past and kill Hitler before he becomes the dictator of Germany.
Okay, Sanae saluted her goddess and flew away from Yokai Mountain.
Okay.
Good.
And Konako sighed, watching her shrine made in the. Why did she have to grow up? That ass is just too big.
Okay. After the after about after about 5 minutes, Sanae realized two things. First off, she had forgotten to pack any tampons. This was a bit of a problem considering that she had just hit her period and was leaking menstrual blood all over against Tokyo. She imagined the shocked faces of villagers when the red gobbity splatters hit them and licked her lips. Secondly, she had no idea how to go back in time. The dilemma bothered her for about 7 hours, during which time she munched on random mushrooms she found in the forest of magic, watching Alice masturbate. However, she suddenly knew what she had to do. The dollmaker's moaning of Sakuya, while she fucked a life-size maid dollmate. Sane realized that elegant Izayoi
What
was the one person who could help her. Sane threw up the mushrooms, dismissing the dancing onions about her vision, and made off for the Scarlet Double Mansion. You're up.
the
You're up. Yo, you good?
It's too fucking funny. The sun peeked gently over the horizon, illuminating the calm waters of the misty lake. Ferries danced happily and played on the shores. Milia walked Sakuya hand on her leash. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Sane uh lighted gently on the Scarlet Double Mansion's front lawn. Hong Mei-ling started to approach her, a cheesy kung fu movie line forming in her throat. Her mistress, however, waved a hand and Hong Mei-ling stood back. Hello there, delicious Sane-san, purred the little vampire. Won't you stay for breakfast? Sane suddenly realized how distracting her swollen love lips discharge was, and crossed her legs hurriedly. Well, I just wanted to ask a favor from Sakuya. If you let me have a little taste. Oh, make her do anything you want. Amelia was drooling already. The menstrual blood of a living god was even better than a virgin's.
Okay, okay. All right. What had it? What had at first seemed a problem was now an advantage. Of of course, Sunny giggled nervously, sitting down cross-legged. Remelia's nostrils flared violently, but her tone suddenly shifted. She whipped Sakuya's bare, gleaming ass with a cat o' nine tails. Sakuya, make me some tea immediately. Arf. Arf, arf. The maid scampered off on all fours. A millisecond later, she returned clutching an antique china cup with murky liquid in between her perfect teeth, and offered to her. and offered it to her mistress. Amelia placed it on the ground and crooned, Sanae, son, please squat over the cup. Sanae did as she was told, and let it a trickle of her sublime thank you, Annie. Slop her stream into the steaming tea. The, That's enough, Amelia moaned. What the fuck?
Yep.
As she poured the tea over herself, letting a little into her mouth. Sakuya. Get off. The, the maid's tongue ravished her the little vampires who moaned in ecstasy. The, the vampires who moaned in ecstasy. My fucking god. Oh, Sakuya. Do whatever Sanae's son desires, and don't bark at her. Sakuya immediately stood up and bowed.
Sanae, mildly bewildered by the fetishistic antics before her, had been staring off into space. Oh, yes, I would like you to send me to the year 1904. As you wish.
Okay. The world melted around Sanae for a moment, and she passed out.
To be continued, and when Sanae woke up, she was at the Scarlet Devil Mansion. The sun had just risen, the fairies were frolicking in the air, and Hermelia was still walking Sakuya around on a leash. Wow, things really don't change in Tokyo, she remarked.
Sanae flew off to the Hakuri shrine to ask the Miko there to let her into the outside world. When she walked through the torii, she did not find Remumo Hakuri. Instead, she found a MILF.
How may I help you? Asked the sultry, curvaceous Miko, her bare hips jutting out of her modified hakama and her massive breasts hanging out the sides of her shirt. Hakurai Miku furrowed her brow when she looked closer at Sanae and asked, Are you a shrine maiden? Yes, I am a shrine maiden from the future, Sanae responded cheerfully, wiping the drool away from her mouth with the detached Miku sleeve that gave her away. Will you let me through the Hakurai border? Yes, that is my duty. Hakurai Miku shrugged, then bowed, showing off cleavage that could have held Makai. She parted the border like the goatsy man did his ass.
Sanae flew through the gap in the shimmering border. Her journey across the world mystified people across Eurasia, causing some to herald the apocalypse. Only one of the doomsayers were perceptive enough to connect the rain of blood with the virtuous girl in the sky. He went on. He went on to write a book that was banned in 45 countries, describing how the book Revelations was just a manifestation. John's repressed fear of his own sister's vagina. Book would have won a Nobel a Nobel Prize if it hadn't simultaneously offered and aroused all of the judges.
Sanae landed in
What the
Sanae landed in
fuck?
Adolf Hitler's backyard after about 13 hours of flying. Covered in bugs and blood, she passed out on the lawn. Her last thoughts before falling asleep were, Wasn't I supposed to kill somebody? I can't remember who. Her green eyelashes fluttered one last time, and her nubile frame slumped into the grass.
I don't think I can do this anymore, dude.
Oh my god. Yep. It's
We're
too
gonna keep
funny.
going anyway.
Anyway, Hitler's right
Not
there.
only was this the first female his own age Hitler had seen in Mulan, this one had green hair and bizarre clothes. Who is this? He asked himself in wonderment. He marveled at her perfect exotic form. This is a goddess. I have to take care of her. Displaying wonderfully German masculine instinct, Hitler picked up Sanae with no effort at all and took her into his house. He didn't even wrinkle his nose at her stench, which was now resembling that of a graveyard. So delicious.
Mm. Hold on, I'm gonna read this paragraph right here, I think we skipped it. Anyway, Adolf Hitler was going to pretend to be dead again. He had taken up this habit after his father sent him to a technical school instead of art school, but so far the method of protest had had any effect. Sighing, the 15-year-old boy walked out into the backyard, noose in hand. Before his eyes, however, had appeared an incredible sight, a girl. Anyway, the goddess's eyes slid open, displaying lovely spring green irises. Doku Atashi wa, she asked sleepily. Ack, she pushed herself out of Hitler's manly arms and started to run away. No, don't go, my goddess, he shouted at her in German. Sanae stopped. Goddess, did you say? She asked in perfect German. As a child, Sanae had idolized Asuka Langley Sauryu from Neon Genesis and Evangelion, and I learned German to better emulate her. Sanae even insulted a local boy, then pretended to be comatose while he masturbated over her. He was mostly okay with the arrangement since he had humiliation fetish. He didn't really like having to wear his mom's flesh and fight monsters, though. Yo,
I don't think I can do this anymore, man. This is too funny. This is
yeah,
straight up too funny.
yeah, I think it is too. I know we got like a couple paragraphs left, just a little bit, and then we're
How
free.
many?
I don't know, probably like 10 or so, just a few more minutes, then we're free, I guess. I
Oh
just,
man.
I love how ridiculous it is.
No kidding.
Yep,
Alright, I'm gonna begin again at number 5. Yeah.
yeah, 45 right
Yes,
there.
yes, a goddess sent from the heavens to heal mankind. Adolf's brown eyes glittered with the glory of it all. You are the most beautiful thing on this entire earth, he spoke fervently. Sana immediately pressed her body against him. Finally, she was the goddess. Not just a living god, not just a shrine maiden, but a true goddess. Fuck Kanako's desires, she thought to herself. What about me? Delirious with the glory of finally being a goddess, she started ripping off her clothes. You will be my greatest disciple, she praised this boy, and immediately began to grind her slippery, blood, bloody love spot against his rock-hard paintbrush.
With great speed, she undressed Adolf Hitler, whose body was ripping with muscles from hours spent painting landscapes. Sane pushed him down to the floor and shoved his 12-inch long, veiny groin stick into her seething, stinking vagina. I am unworthy of such a beautiful goddess, he moaned. You are the most worthy out of any being on earth, she countered. Oh, I thought it was him talking. Impressed by his glistening form and flinching adoration, she held down his arms with her divine power and rode him like a magnificent stallion. Sane's moans and screams could be heard throughout the entire continent, toppling great cities, while her stench caused every person within 1,000 miles to drop unconscious. Hitler's family and house was blown away by the power of their fucking, which lasted for 7 days and 7 nights. Every 5 minutes they came simultaneously in an eruption of ecstasy. Soon they were floating in a lake of fuck fluid, embracing each other even more. They did every position from the cowgirl they started with to fisting to the inverted Mormon. Their clothes and Sane's hymen lay in tatters, having been used for all sorts of purposes.
But Hitler, devoted as he was only human, so Sanae called upon the gods to make him divine. Hitler grew a massive manly beard, and his stick became a pulsating fire hydrant. It was the finest wang in all of Germany, or indeed in all of the world, and Sanae was immensely satisfied with it. So satisfied, in fact, that she what the that she fucked him for another week, during which the world wept in ecstasy as it engaged in a billion-strong orgy.
Meanwhile, in the Seoul region of Japan, two goddesses were very concerned. First off, they were inexplicably fucking when before they had been rivals. Secondly, a living goddess heretofore unknown was calling upon them to cause this bizarre sexual happening. They didn't recall lending any power to her, yet here they were, scissoring like a sorority in Santa Cruz. Yep, sorority in Santa Cruz.
So I just had to mute myself, otherwise I would ruin the entire fucking video.
No, it's fine. If you had to laugh, it was fine.
Really?
That's what the people want. Anyway, let's go.
Okay. Kanakos. Suwako moaned. Do you remember anybody like this? No, Suwako. Afterwards, Kanako orgasmed for the 653. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna skip this part. Time. You should probably stop her before anybody dies of exhaustion. She said while Suwako started sucking. Right.
Oh my god.
Fucking article stars. For a couple of minutes, the conversation stopped like that. That since it was difficult for Sawako to talk while servicing Kaneko's orgasmal tumor. After that, they did 96 for a joyous hour.
69, right? We need to go to Germany. Suwako gasped out between orgasms, though her wandering hands seemed to have different ideas. Kanako only nodded, doing nothing to stop Suwako's tiny child's hand from entering Uranus. They flew to Germany, copulating furiously the entire time. It took a month for them to reach Germany, because they had kept stopping to participate in the orgies going on below. Flying over Siberia helped a bit. Populated areas near Hitler's home took up weeks. During this time, over half of the world's population had died joyously, while the rest kept fucking the corpses. It was mayhem. I think this is the final paragraph. We're free.
It's an honor.
Yep.
When they finally arrived, Sanae and Hitler were swimming around in the lake formed of their blood. Shit, why this had come? The fluid bathed them and entered every orifice, lubricating them for each bizarre activity they attempted next. You, living God, shouted Kanako, her hands caressing Suwako's petite lips. Stop doing this immediately. It is not a joyous act of love, but a carnal sin. Sanae and Hitler swam over and began to start a four-way. What little resolve to to end the incident that Suwako and Kanako had worked up melted at the feeling of Hitler's enormous curve, entering them and filling them with his semen. They fucked, and the world burned.
The end.
The end.
Oh my dude.
That was the most hilarious shit ever.
I feel like, no offense to the person, I don't know if I want to offend at this point. I feel like this was written by a 12-year-old. Let's be for real.
12-year-old? Dude, I don't think a 12-year-old will ever be able to write such a way like this. This is just peak comedy.
I mean, some guy, I don't know, some bored fat dude who was on 4chan. Does that sound better? Because that sounds way better to me. Anyway, like, yeah, like, I think that's it. I had a pretty good time reading this. Like, I mean, I didn't laugh as hard as you did, but it's still fucking ridiculous. So I just wanted to, see how you'd react to it.
That was honestly funny. Thanks for showing
I wanted to show you, no problem. I wanted to show you this unhinged gold mine. Anyway, that is it for today. See you guys.